Hey, welcome back to the channel, guys. Dwayne here at 8-Bit Vinyl. Today I wanted to talk about these beautiful coin doors made by X Arcade and how to install them into your brand new Mortal Kombat 2 Legacy cabinet or your Capcom Legacy Street Fighter cabinet from Arcade 1up. I centered these perfectly in the center of the original decaled kick plate. Allows for nice, easy access into the front of the cabinet. These are made of real metal. They include a USB port that come with, so you can consistently light the coin doors, locking mechanism with key, and a complete wire installation kit if you so choose to wire these to the buttons. We will not be wiring these to the buttons today, but however, I will show you how I installed this into the kick plate right on center. So please like and subscribe to my channel, guys. I would greatly appreciate it if you're interested in this video or any of my other videos. And we'll get started right away on this. Okay, so what I'm doing here, guys, is I want to lay out my kick panel plate with my new coin door that I want to put on the Midway Legacy and my Street Fighter Legacy cabinet. So what I did is I took all the hinges off, and I just took this frame. These screw holes here on the side of the left-hand side of my my coin door, and I just basically laid it out on top of this kick panel plate, and literally just for you know, all intents and purposes, I basically evened out all the measurements here. So I basically got 5 1/8, and on this side 5. I mean, this is just a rough guesstimate, guys, because I'm just doing it for the video. But 5 1/8, 5 1/8. And then basically I tried to cover the decal as much as humanly possible to get this square. And then I just kind of went around, traced my marks here with a pencil. Here, because that's where my cutout. I removed my arcade door. This is what's called a 12-inch speed square. You can get this at any home store. You don't have to use this. You can just use a regular 90-degree regular carpenter square. But then I just kind of lined up my marks, and I penned it in. And then I know exactly where I need to router this hole to cut this out. So we'll go out to the shop, and we'll get those cut out. Okay, guys, so what I'm doing here is I'm basically lining up my panels against my side wall of my fence. And after I've traced my lines here, like you saw in the previous video, what I did here was I'm going to use, in order to have a hole placed correctly for the start of my router to route this out, I'm going to use an 1 1/4 spade bit right there. And I'm going to basically lay this out. Not sure if you can actually see my lines here, my drawn out lines in the video. But anyways, what I did was I just took this line here and I divided my 1 1/4 in half. So I had 5/8. I scribed a little mark here, and 5/8 from this particular drawn out mark, another 5/8, and X marks the spot. Now I'm just going to take my little hole punch so I have something to start. Just snap that in a couple of times so I know exactly where this bit needs to be, and then I'm going to drill my hole. Okay, guys, so in this video, just so you can see what I did, I haven't moved my plate or anything. I just moved my camera. Before I even put any of these blocks down or drilled my holes, I just put a piece of tape close around the perimeter of this, so when I router, the face of this isn't going to scratch the actual surface of the decal and stuff that I cannot cover up once it's on the machine. So I 5/8 by 5/8 holes from each, you know, basically the radius of my thing. Drilled all 4 of my holes with my 1 1/4 bit. This is a 3/4 inch router bit. Not sure if you can see it in there, but just for the sake of condensing a video a little shorter than the last one, same router bit as before for the deck protector. And then I just set up these blocks. I have these all clamped down in various locations, so there's no way I can go past any of my marks. I lined up the edge of my cutter with the edge of my pencil line, and then this shoulder will guide me back and forth this way. And that way, if the router goes inside and drifts, it doesn't matter because this is all coming out and getting tossed anyway. But it can't go outside and screw up your finished work. So I'm going to go ahead and route that out now. And here goes nothing. If you see me tilt the router 180 or another, the distance from this shoulder on my router is different than this shoulder on my router and different than this. So I've already compensated for that. So I can kind of go this way, then this way, and then this way. So here goes nothing. Okay guys, so now that we got that all routed out, it makes a terrible mess, so I highly suggest doing it outside. I just vacuumed this all up after I cut it out, and then we can just remove our inserts and toss these. And the main thing is the shoulders of your stops is a huge part of the setup, so the router can't drift past your work, and then there's no way to hide it. If this is a little bit on the larger side, or even if these rounds are a little sharper than this big old drill that I happen to do, as long as this is the actual arcade, X-Arcade coin door frame, that fits. That's already gonna fit right in there, right there. Sorry about the shaky camera. I already got this fit in exactly the way it's going to be. I can already tell everything's going to completely hide. I have a little bit of leeway just to square it up on the machine once I clamp it in, but I already know it's going to fit. So the next video I'm going to show you is I'm going to take this apart and put this back in the arcade, and we're going to start putting this coin door actually in the machine. It's going to look great. Okay guys, so here we are back at the Midway cabinet. And I got my panels back in place. And as you can see, my cutout is now hitting the old L brace right there, or K, whatever have you. So when I put my frame up against here, this obviously fits in it well, but the top of the X-Arcade brace hits this. So what I'm going to do is I traced this line with a pencil, And then I'm going to take everything back off, including this brace, and route this section off. I don't want to route too much off or remove the brace, one, for structure, and two, I may need the thickness of this brace to clamp the frame against the side of the, to kind of sandwich this. So back out in the garage, we'll cut that out. Okay guys, so back here, I just got my my K panels laid out here for my Midway and my Capcom. They're both the same coin door and they're both centered in the same cabinet, so I figured I'd do them both at the same time. And I just wanted to get this nice radius here on both ends equally. So what I did was basically where I traced my edge, I came into the center of this distance, which in this case is 7/16. And then from the edge of this here, or here, I came in another 7/16 to get a perfect radius. And I'm using a 7/8 spade bit. I used my quick hole punch on my X marks the spot. Punched it like that. And we're going to drill these holes, get that nice radius. May not trace the pencil mark exactly, but we know that these two will be even. Okay guys, so now that we got our two holes drilled out, what we're going to do is I'm literally going to router this out. Using any old, this literally can be any size diameter router, two-bladed bit. And anybody who's seen my video, I have this board here is just a piece of scrap with a nice straight edge against it. Straight edge meaning like factory edge. And I'm just going to use this as my stop to keep this line nice and straight as I router. So basically I'm going to set a little bit of depth on my router tip. Put it in the hole like this. I just have this clamp and this clamp here as kind of my stop, so I can't go too far this way or too far this way. But I'll stick this in here. I'll router it across, go down a little deeper, and then router it again. And just on a side note, if you're wondering why I'm using a router as opposed to a jigsaw or something like this, is because when you cut with the jigsaw, no matter how steady your hand is, you have to cut extremely slow. And this blade is so, and this is a good saw, is so kind of drifty that before you know it, you're cutting an angle on your board like this, and the saw kind of wants to go where it wants to go. And you never really seem to get a nice clean edge. And we're going to do some quality product. So we're gonna give this a whirl. Here it goes. A little too deep, so I'll come up a little bit. Go down some more. Okay. Look at how clean that edge is as opposed to a saw. Way cleaner. We're building quality stuff here. We're not building crap. So anyways, using my router again, and just to kind of cut off these little niches right here on the piece, I set a couple of small blocks with my clamps, and I'm just going to butt up against this and kind of guide this back and forth, being very careful not to divvy into this hole. I'm just trying to cut that little bit out. So here we go. Want to go that way just a little bit more. Perfect. Just keep setting my depth. Go ahead and do the other side and just keep resetting my depth. But this side, I'm going to have to come into it. And that's it, guys. You can take it apart and put it back on the cabinet. This is just a side-by-side comparison of what that nice cutout looks like inside the cabinet, right next to the finished product over here on the Midway. So, just so you can see that that coin door will fit in there flush. Yeah, perfect. So in this video, kind of recapping the X Arcade. So when you first get your X Arcade coin door, I wanted to show you what it looks like out of the box. You take it out of the box. It's got a couple of wires here that hook onto some HAP style triggers, and you can these are to wire the doors. If you literally want this to physically work, it would. Otherwise, the lights are hooked up to a quick USB. The other end comes in a plug like this in the box. And then, of course, it comes with a bunch of fasteners and the keys to open the door. So what I want to do is basically unlock this like this. Okay. And I want to take off these 4 screws and take this shell off and then mount this shell inside the cabinet. Here's Johnny. Okay, so what I'll do here, guys, is I'll take these little clips that come with the coin door like this and put them teeth inside. And I'm going to screw them to these little holes. Like so. I apologize if I'm doing this backwards, but it also goes to show you that I'm just starting the threads. Okay, so I got them all in there finger tight, and what I'm using is just these are just about 3/16 shims, paint sticks. give or take, that you can get for free at basically any home store. You don't even have to buy paint to get them. Don't quote me on that. But I just kind of put these in here like this up against the door. And you're going to have to get a feel for whether or not you need 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever. I think 1 may not be enough, but honestly, I'm not sure. Maybe 1 is enough. Okay, so just kind of put it up against the door like this. Like I said, no rocket science here. Nothing fancy. It's just a shim so you can sandwich the outer shell of this door. You can already see I haven't even tightened it with a screwdriver, but that's what it's going to look like. So here's the finished product, guys. So you can see I had to use 2 of them all the way around. And the top one, like I said, if you notch this out properly with your router, sorry about the shaky camera, it's inside the box here, that this clamp will cinch against nicely to the actual framing of the piece. But it's in there real good and tight. There's no coming, it's not going to come out on you or anything when you swing the door open. Okay guys, so in this next video I'm going to put the coin door back on the hinges with our 4 screws. Kind of just get one in there loosely to start, so you know your door is on the hinges pretty good. Probably come up a little bit. Fits well. Pretty strong. Here it is, guys, the finished product by X Arcade into your legacy cabinet. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Nice and centered right on your original kick plate door, right in the place of covering that decal. If you are interested in further videos of how to complete the wiring to the stock buttons or aftermarket buttons, I would refer to a video from X Arcade that does a beautiful job of installing these exact same coin doors into an NBA Jam arcade 1-up. All right, that's it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Again, this is Dwayne here at 8-Bit Vinyl. Please hit that like and subscribe button on your channel if you like this video or any of my other videos. And we'll see you next time, guys. Thanks.